We won't talk about anything but cars and good stuff, right? Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's good to see you again. I'm over at my buddy's Dave's house. He's got a 2016 RZR XP4 Turbo, and we're gonna put some fresh coils on this thing. But before we do that, this edition has the Fox shock. So one thing we want to make sure we do is that gas pressure is set and good to go. So I picked up some brand new caps from Salt Industries. This is their latest nitrogen cap. And we're going to install those first because we want to make sure that the gas pressure in this car is set and good to go. All right, guys, so we got the car jacked up and all drooped out. Now, usually what I like to do is get a nice wet rag, clean this off real good, get all the mud and dirt off of it, even under this lip. Make sure you clean that out really, really good. And then the next thing we're gonna do is, and I'll link this below for you guys, but the next step is to inserting these, is there's a hollow needle that we're gonna pierce the factory cap with. So that's gonna release all the gas pressure and allow us to get this thing out. One thing that's important to do, I've noticed on the needles, is obviously make sure you're as center as you can. I put a little bit of grease on it as well, just to help get through the rubber. Just let all that gas pressure come out, and then you'll have access to the cap. But yeah, definitely put a little grease on the tip of the needle. Make sure you're as centered as possible as you can be, and just guide the needle in. All right, so the gas pressure is all out of this thing. Just remove the needle. Set that there on the tire, and the next thing you gotta do is just push up on the cap, and you'll access the snap ring. And you wanna get basically the smallest little fine tip screwdriver, or even a pick will work, so that you can get access to get this clip out. The clip comes out. Again, make sure you clean everything real good so that when you reassemble, you're not putting dirt anywhere it shouldn't be. So we'll put that there. And the next step is getting this guy out. So we'll take a set of screwdrivers. I'm just actually using my tire irons, but you can use a screwdriver as well. The OE cap has a little lip on it. You just kind of work this around. Try to get it out as evenly as possible. If you can get it out to that point, you can usually grab it with your fingers and pull the factory cap out. So it may have a little bit of fluid in the shock itself, but a lot of times they usually do that from assembly. So just clean that off real good. We're gonna also take off the factory O-ring on this because it seals just fine. So take that off, clean the O-ring real good. And we got our Salt Industries cap. What we're gonna do is just put that O-ring back on it. I'm gonna grease this real good and put it back on. And this has all been wiped out and clean. Just reinsert the cap to that point. We'll drop our clip back in. And make sure that you check this clip, guys. Get it all the way in there. What's good to do is push up on the cap, make sure it's seated, and then pull it back out. And when you pull it out, you'll know that that snap ring is nice and seated, and you're ready to hit it with some gas. Now these shocks, I want to make sure to hit them at least 180 to 200 PSI. And I'm going to go to the rest of the ones on the car and do those as well. Same process on the rear. We grease the needle. We try to get it in center here. Oh, these ones had no gas in them. So there's a perfect example, guys. That had no gas pressure in it whatsoever. So exact reason why you want to upgrade your caps on these cars, especially with the Fox edition, whether it's a RZR, a Honda, a Cowie, whatever, CanAm, this is a great upgrade. My next step again is either get a tiny screwdriver, guys, or a pick, and you can access the snap ring fairly easy. Just kind of get behind it, work it around, it comes right out. Again, make sure you clean it off real good. They're usually covered with grime and dirt. That all cleaned off. Leave that by our cap. And to remove these, you can actually just use some spoons or some screwdrivers and just kind of work around. Like I was saying before, these things get really kind of grimy, so if it doesn't come out, you may have to push it back in and clean that lip. Just wiggle it usually pretty good. Have a rag below in case a little bit of oil comes out. And there's the factory cap. So we're gonna just take that O-ring off, put it on our Assault Industries cap, and be set to go here. All right, so sometimes guys, a good thing to do is to just put one of your clean little shop rags in here, take another one and clean out this edge real good. You don't want no grime or grit inside these things, so just clean it out real good. Once you've done that, you can remove the rag back out, wipe it down real good. Like I said, we're gonna take this O-ring off of here, just clean the O-ring. Okay, so we're gonna just reinstall the O-ring on here. I'm gonna apply a little bit of grease to the O-ring itself. Okay, when you put the cap in, guys, just make sure you kind of twist and push in. And it should go in there fairly straight and easy. Snap ring's all clean. We're gonna just reinstall this with the opening up so I can take a peek at it. You're gonna use that screwdriver or pick that you have again and just push this into its groove. I'll hear it click. And then what I like to do is just pull on these caps, twist them, make sure that that snap ring's in there real good before you start putting gas pressure on it. So that's it. All right, so just for fun on this side, I haven't touched the gas pressure yet. I'm just gonna see if it pushes in. There it is, it pushed right in. I didn't even put a needle on it. So both rear shocks had 0 gas pressure. And Dave, how many miles you said this is on this car? You only have like
about 650.
650 miles. So effect on a shock with no gas pressure, it affects the way the shocks seal, the function completely. So yeah, for these to have 0 pressure in them is crazy, because that'll turn oil right into foam real quick. All right, so that one's nice and clean. I'm gonna get my spoon here and see if I can just kind of work it out. There we go. And again, get kind of a little rag below here. And this one should just pop out for us. So if it's not coming, guys, remember, push it back in, clean that ridge. It should just come out. There we go. That's it. A little oil is going to come out, so that's the reason for the rag to be right there. Again, I just shove that in. Go get yourself a fresh rag and clean around this ring. Take our O-ring. Okay, it's all greased up and good to go. Slide this out, set it there, and our cap goes in. There we go. So what we're going to do on the nitrogen is we're going to just let the regulator set at about 50 psi. I don't hit it all at once with the full tank of gas, because again, you want to make sure this is secure. So I'm only going to hit this with like 50 psi right now. So everything's good. I'm going to walk it up to 100. And then my next step is I hit it at 180. All right, so let's put the cap on, and this side's done. We're gonna go on to the other 3 and get those good to go. All right, guys, that's a wrap for this one. Dave's car is set to hit the trail and good to go. The shocks are pressurized. We got the new caps installed. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and it helped you out a little bit on your own car. If you do have any further questions, guys, make sure you leave them in the comments below. We love hearing from you. Hit that subscribe button, guys. Turn on the notifications, and we will see you in the next video. Thanks.